There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Tea with P. What a beautiful Wednesday it is. Thank you for joining us. I want to give a huge shout out before I get started to HGTC, Home Grow the Community. Huge shout out to Mr. Organics, C Bunny, and Mama Kush for hosting Cha Boy over on their episode here. Just the last hour, actually. I was over there live with them, and it was a wonderful conversation. So before we get started, a huge shout out to Home Grow the Community. They're doing a great thing, and it was quite warming and wonderful to be a part of the show. Huge shout out to the band. Yo, huge shout out to Mrs. P doing her thing too over there. Radiohead she is. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you to the band doing their thing. We'll turn them down. Thank you guys. They get excited. They get excited. We got a whole. Thank you guys. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, they're doing great. As I said, huge shout out to Home Grow the Community guys. They're doing their thing. But as importantly, yo, huge shout out to you guys, man. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you guys for swinging by, being a part of this flock, being a part of the stream. Every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central, you will find us doing Tea with P, where we sit, we chat, we talk about all things nudes, culture, science, health, you name it, and we're going to talk about it here. Nothing is off limits because I'm always open for great conversation, and our space is in need of good conversation as more and more starts to come around. And I wanted to be able to do it here. Thank you to my patrons for supporting the show here. Shout out to my latest patrons, my latest patron, Ames High Cannabis. I appreciate you guys. If you want to help support the show and you want to get your name across the bottom, get some support, shout yourself out, head over to patreon.com/pigeons420. Guys, shout out to everybody in the chat. I see a whole host of people already. Untrained Astronauts here, man. Von Hohenheim is here. El Canisur is here. Tazarello Gaming is here. No, shout out to you, Tazarello. Shout out to you, Mama Kush. Shout out to you. Thank you for the drinks and the hoots. Untrained. I hope you had a wonderful time over at the Dude Grows Cup, guys. Over at the Dudes Grow Cup, they had their cup this past weekend, and it looked like a good hoot and holler and great time. Friends, great weed, tons of laughs. Huge shout out to Dude and Scotty and the boys over there doing their thing. Grambo, man, it looked like a great time. I wish we could have made it. This was the Dude Grows Cup that I was supposed to go to this year, babe. That we couldn't, unfortunately couldn't have made it to because it was my son's final tournament of the year. And let me tell you, I'm glad I went to that because it was it was full of drama. It was full of all kinds of crazy, man. It'll keep the people talking for some time. But if anyone in the chat, did anybody in the chat go to the Dudes Go Cup this weekend? How did you go? I know Astronaut won. Shout out to Astronaut for taking us with him. Great job filming all that, and great time. It looked like so much fun. I honestly wish I could have made it. I want to shout out the fams. Yo, V-Shack, welcome in, man. Welcome in. For all those people that think that I pre-record these, this isn't one of them. Just kidding. I don't pre-record these. Not yet. Wouldn't that be something though? A Wednesday night live show pre-recorded. That's kind of dumb. A little bit. Right. Juddy's in the chat. Okie, good to see you. Alicia is in the chat as well. Alicia, great to see you. Looked like so much fun, didn't it? Two dope dudes. Hey, Gromies, what's up? Trent Scott Garden, live, baby, live. Just for fun. I did. You did? Oh, just for fun. Went to the Dude Grows Cup. Oh, that's fantastic. Good. Oh, I hope you had a hoot and holler and great time as well. 10 times better than any event I've been to. That's coming from Untrained Astronaut, and I know he's been to a few bangers. Well, I only know he's been to one, and it was MJ BizCon, and they're kind of dull. But, man, I'm so glad to hear that, bro, because I'm such a huge fan of Dude Grows, and any friends of theirs are friends of mine, and I'm glad to hear that they had a very successful event. J-Rats, my favorite late Wednesday live tea with P. Yes, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Forging Flowers. Finally catch your show. I'm glad you could make it. On roll. We've got a good one here. We've got a good one in store. We're going to be talking about all things under the sun. Really nothing off the table. If there's a conversation that you would like to have this evening in regards to anything in your neck of the woods, whether it's legislation, whether it's conversation, whether it's just any nudes, culture, science, or health, or just entertainment that you're excited about, I want to hear about it. Because we've got some big things coming in regards to community events. We've got big things coming in regards to channels, myself and the podcast and AC Infinity doing big things. The Growers Gauntlet is well underway right now. Battle of the Breeders is well underway right now. The Global Grow Cup is well on the way right now. Like, it is happening right now. And I love to be able to talk about it. But the conversation that everybody is talking about, and the question everybody wants to know is, what are you guys smoking on, man? What are you guys smoking on? What's going to get you through the rest of the show, bro? And don't say my voice, because I got one of those voices is not like 3 octaves off of nails on a chalkboard, bro. So it's okay. How does everything sound tonight? How does everything sound? Testing 1 2 1 2. Make sure everything's coming in hot and ready, just like Little Caesar's Pizza, but just a little less ready, I guess. We've got a very special guest tonight. We're going to be welcoming Chris, Mr. Grow It, going to be joining us at the top of the hour, right? That's how I say that? Bottom of the hour. Top of the second hour. Bottom of the first. I'll figure it out one of these days. Great audio. Great, glad you're loud and clear. That's what I like to hear, guys. Shout out to Mrs. P. You wouldn't believe the hours she spent today trying to hammer out the audio on that mixer. I'll tell you. I was like, babe, slow down. Come on. It's just a live show. It's not a big deal. She's like, no, our familyhood relies on this. I'm going to hammer this out.
That's a lie. Mrs. P was in bed sick.
All right, so Mrs. P was in bed sick today. Okay, I lied. She was in bed sick, and then she dragged her ass out of the bed for the live show so that we would be able to have some fun and box her out of the studio. Yeah. Well, on a day she's not feeling well, but boy, she knows how to make it happen, man. Make it happen. So, I see some Fire and Ice by Elevate. Ooh, wee. Shut up, Mrs. P. And on the 1s and 2s, Joey's got your back there. And so did Mama Kush. So did Mama Kush on the episode today. I'm going to be smoking on some Chill Out OG, my friends. Some Chill Out OG. This is by a very good friend of mine. And actually, as I was talking about this on HGTC earlier, I was discussing that I'm so thankful that his weed turned out good, because heaven forbid it wasn't. Because I would be honest. I would be 100% honest. I love my boy and I love this community. I would be 100% honest no matter what. But God, it would hurt me a little bit. And I probably wouldn't say it as often as I get to say it. So thank heavens his weed is good. And I'm going to be pounding into it. Now I've got the green screen on, so this is going to come in a little bit. I don't have a green screen on. What are you talking about? It's a real window. It's not like Mama Kush's window, I'll tell you that. She's got a beautiful lake behind her, and it was just epic. Yes, it was so gorgeous. Actually, you know what? Until we get to the stories, let me put this down and then pull this up. I want to be able to see your comments come in loud and clear. Shout out to the Gorilla Gang in the house. Team Zaza is never too far away. Shout out to them. They're always around. Shout out to Cashy Reloading. I see you out there. Shout out to Zach, East Coast Grower. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for always coming in on Wednesdays. I got you guys. I would like to roll some of this up before we get too hot and heavy here tonight. And get into a conversation with my good friend, Chris. That boy's got lots going on. Jester representing the Gorillas tonight. That a boy. So as I said, smoking some Chill Out OG. This stuff coming in quite earthy. It's got some gassy undertones. And what's funny? Thank you, Pete. Oh, nothing? You're just chilling? Vaughn? Oh my God, he said green screen. I thought the whole background was post-fixed till you point out the window. Jeez. Bro, you thought it was all real, bro? Oh, man, thank you. It is all real, G. It's whatever you want it to be.
You thought the whole background was fake.
Oh, you thought the whole background was fake?
When you said green screen.
Oh. That's too funny. Well, I'm glad. No, this everything is real. Or is it? That's what's crazy is you will never know with me is I will just keep you guessing, babe. No, I do have a green room, though. You'll never really know if it's this one or not. But, oh, man. And this is a sticky, icky. Huge shout out to Mr. Grow It. I can't tell you where to get it, but if you follow him, sometimes he'll tell you. So, make sure you do that, folks. Make sure you do that, folks. Huge shout out to Seedsman for sponsoring Tea with P, guys. If you're looking for quality genetics, I can't tell you where to get them. But if you happen to just skip your way on over to Seaman, I might know a guy. And if you use promo code Pigeons420, I'll be damned, boy. You might find your way out the other side with just a few more dollars in your pocket. Boy, I tell you what. So, think about that. And I think about that. Huge shout out to them. Thank you for sponsoring. They are the latest partner of the show and of the channel. Huge shout out to them. Obviously, it makes it difficult having a genetic partner because YouTube doesn't like that a whole lot. And so it's, it's tough. It's really tough. But it's the missing link. People ask me all the time, where do you get your genetics, Pigeon? And they say it like that because I know that they're yelling to me. I'm flying. No, they have no teeth. They're not old. Not all of them. I don't know. And I'm just thinking they're yelling, and I'm so high up, and it just comes off as like the wind's blowing away. And then so I can't tell you. I just can't tell you. But that's the missing link, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So we got lots to discuss, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to discuss today after this hoot right here. It's going to set us right. Illegal raids. You might have already seen this. We're going to be showing you the video. Hopefully I pulled that up. I think I got it pulled up. We'll find it. I think it's the illegal raids video. But illegal raids. We're going to be discussing this as a non-lawyer. Let that be known first. Okay, I'll preface that again later. But we're going to be talking about illegal raids. There's a video that's not too far down yet. And then we're also going to be talking about CHS, okay? Hyperemesis syndrome. This is a conversation that I have had before, but times have changed. My opinion hasn't, and I just want to reinforce that I think we need to have a discussion about it. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's Tokyo the Smoky. Let's have ourselves a great time. Send a few clouds skyward and bless the All Merry because we are here and this hoot is for you, my friend. Shall we? Cheers. Oh, boy. As we prepare for the nudes, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember that anything is open for discussion here. And if there's something that you would like to have a conversation about, please, you can follow me at Pigeons420. I need a pop-up at Pigeons420 on Twitter. The focus is going to have a hard time now, is over on Twitter. So if you'd like to, or X. If you want to have a conversation with me, if you want to bring up something, tag me, find the link, and we'll do that. Guys, we're going to be jumping into the nudes here. Let's do it.
Cannabis. All things culture, science, and health. Your one-stop shop for all things Cannabis.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the wrong screen.
There we go.
But that's okay. We know where we're going. The first story I'm going to start off with, that's fine. That's all right. That's right. That's one mistake for Mrs. P.
I have a fever. I'm a little
Okay.
delusional.
Okay? For those that are not keeping track, I am. Okay? Mama Kush has got your back, by the way. She's team Mrs. P. Even though she puts team Pigeons there, I know what she means.
No, it's all me. They come back for me.
I wanted to bring this story up because it's close to my boy, Mr. ROBCLTV. I have inside word that the latest drop, or not maybe the latest drop. Oh, this is the wrong story. I didn't pull this one out. You might have to pull this up as I go.
Okay.
The latest drop of damn, I totally confused two stories until this point right here. Brother fucking Hulk Hogan. There we go. Thank you. Hulk Hogan just drops, or maybe doesn't just drops, but he has a line of product called Banana brother, or what is it? Canna brother. It's so funny. I'm doing the nudes here, and I just thought of two stories. I blended them as one until I said them out loud. Hulk Hogan's latest drop of product is a hit. As a hit. It sounds like my good friend Mr. ROBCLTV is giving them a thumbs up in regards to their product. He tried some out at his local shop, and it was pretty damn good. If you can't find the story, don't even worry about it. Because I was more so, the story I had, there isn't even really a story, it was more so to go along with that. Wrestling Mania is taken over, and Rob's going to be like, this isn't WrestleMania, bro. Come on, stop. It turns out Ric Flair and Mike Tyson is also dropping. They're expanding their grasp. They've also got products. They've got Tyson has his 2.0, and Ric Flair Drip also is getting in on the world of product. Is it going to be any good? I have no idea. To be quite honest, this isn't really nudes, but I thought it was important because my good friend, Mr. ROB CLTV, loves wrestling, and he signed off on the Hulk Hogan. And I thought, you know what? That's good nudes. That's good nudes. At least we can sign off on some celebrity weed that isn't all that bad. So yeah. That's that story. That's that story. What do you think? What do you think? Does it even matter? I don't know. We've also got other nudes, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to the latest congressional committee is removes the DC cannabis sales ban and adds the cannabis banking protections in key spending bill. What does that mean? Well, a GOP House committee has unveiled a large-scale spending bill that omits a long-standing rider blocking Washington, D.C. from legalizing recreational cannabis sales and separately adds new protections for banks that work with state legal businesses. This is huge. The notable related changes from past sessions come under the panel's new leadership. Representative Dave Joyce from Ohio, co-chair, he's a Republican out of Ohio. Shout out to Dave Joyce, co-chair of the Congressional Cannabis Caucus, and the lead sponsor of standalone bipartisan cannabis banking legislation. That is huge because running a business in America that is anywhere or any somewhat associated with this plant is somewhat detrimental, unfortunately. So to see some movement forward is great. Now, you can bring the scene back to me. This is where my pessimism comes in because I don't want to have another logo on there as I'm talking a bunch of shit. This is no surprise to me that this happens on the doorstep of the rescheduling because let me tell you that I bet you there'll be some pretty large names that start to exploit or utilize this change in banking that will see them start to get a grasp on the industry in preparation for the medical benefits that we talked about on the last episode. Okay? I am very cynical when America moves anything regarding legalization, especially now. And I don't mean any legalization. I just mean the legalization or regulation that they moved towards recently. I think it's frustrating, absolutely frustrating, that we get rescheduling. Rescheduling? No, it should be descheduling. Rescheduling is wool over the civilian's eye, over the citizen's eye. That's the word I was looking for. And that's frustrating. So to see this movement after that, while big tech is probably prepping itself for big movements in our space, just be careful. Hopefully the little guy can benefit from this, but when does the little guy benefit? With that being said, I hate to be a cynical bastard, okay? We can be positive. However, with that being said, trying to be positive, there's two main stories that I wanted to focus on in the next little portion of the nudes. And one of those stories is a story that's coming out of New York City. You might have seen the video, because actually I saw this on my Twitter first. There is a video that is going around of a dispensary owner in New York that essentially, well, actually, I'm gonna let you read it or watch it before I give, my opinion. So if you wouldn't mind, it's on that page. Yeah, full screen it. If there's audio, oh, there we go. I was like, that's an interesting full screen. I'm curious if we're gonna get audio out of this.
I think there's subtitles, so either way, they should be able to get the gist.
Okay, go ahead.
Actually, I'm gonna.
So, could you hear the audio there, guys? Was that okay? Did you guys pick up the audio on that or no? I just want to make sure. Was no audio, but the subtitles. Okay. Okay. That's interesting.
They got aggressive real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I am curious why we didn't have audio on that one.
I don't know. I could hear it.
You could.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, because it was coming. That was on the.
That was on full gas.
Oh, it was because it was on the laptop.
You on the main computer?
It's on that one.
Is that this one?
I got a feeling that they're not going to hear Chris when he comes in. Anyways,
We'll figure that
I'll
out.
figure that out in just a moment. These are the things that I think about. But anyways, hear me out. Hear me out. There's a few things that I wanted to touch on. So you couldn't quite hear what was going on. However, these individuals were these officers were very aggressive. There was a lot of yelling. They started off, the guy in red. Can you switch to the video and we'll just kind of just stop it as I'm talking? Because I've watched it many times.
Full video?
No, do yeah, there we go. And then just kind of like stop it as I go. At the very beginning, there's an individual that comes in who's dressed in red, and the first thing he says as he opens up the door, he says, "Do you guys have any stizzies?" And based on that, one would assume that stizzies have been banned in New York, which I'm almost certain they have. And the guy says, and the owner says, no, I don't have any stizzies. It is a little hard to hear based on his accent. I hear, no, I don't want that problem today because he doesn't sell them. And they're looking for dispensaries that are not following the regulations. And when the guy says no, the guy in red backs out. And that's when the cops come in. And the cop comes in and says, can we, this is an inspection. And the dispensary owner replies with, do you have a court order? And they say, we don't need a court order. We're the sheriff. And the owner doesn't resist, sorry. He rebuttals with, you need a court order. And the other officers, there's no seniority here. There's at least 3 or 4 officers at this point that are yelling to the dispensary owner that he has to comply because this is the sheriff's office and he has to comply. They kick his door down, which you couldn't see. If you could play it now, they'll be able to see it if they can see it. They kick his door down and they come through the back. There's something, first of all, let me preface anything I say with that I am not a lawyer. I have no legal authority to give any legal advice or any legal guidance whatsoever. The words that come out of my mouth are simply coming from a man of concern, a citizen, and a Canadian. I don't even observe the same rights as an American. So please take my words very lightly. However, this man is an example of so many people in today's society, whether American, Canadian, I don't care where you are, we're feeling this kind of prosecution and prohibition everywhere on the planet. And because even in a legal state, you are still susceptible to this kind of enforcement. So what this man did was absolutely correct. He rebutted when they came in. You don't have to fold. You don't have to say, okay, I'm sorry. No, you can give them a rebuttal and say, where's your warrant? Where's your court order? In the case of what's going on in New York, they needed a court order. They needed a warrant to search his property based on what that article says further down. And this man, and this is where I kind of just want to just talk as a civilian to a civilian, or maybe a business owner as a business owner. Your battle with law enforcement is not on the street. If law enforcement busts through your door, I don't care what your rights are as an American or a Canadian citizen. You have just put your hands up. I'm not saying roll over. Now, if they bust in your door like that, as I'm describing, like as they did with him, they didn't bust through the door. Okay, they came in a little less aggressive than that. He met force with appropriate force and said, "Do you have a court order or a warrant?" They said no. They don't need one. At that point, and remember, I am not a lawyer, please. At that point, in my opinion, you have to submit. You are staring at 5, how many were there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 armed officers? I don't care what you have on your appendix. I don't care what you're carrying. Your family, your life, your business, everything you have worked for is not worth that battle at that moment in time. Do not fight. Don't argue, man. Like, yes, this man did everything right. He rebutted at least 3 or 4 times. But then as soon as shit started to go heavy, your battle is in court. Not only were his civil rights violated, in my opinion, there was violation of due process. So again, I'm not a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. And I don't want anyone to say, well, this random guy on the internet said it. That would be stupid. But I'm just saying, I think it's in your best interest to fight these battles in court. And it sucks because I'm thankful. This is an example of it unfortunately going right for this man. I sure hope he had his ducks in a row in regards to he's obtained legal counsel. So it's not like he was doing shady shit. It's because he would be hiding if he didn't. So, and regardless, you still have rights. You still have rights. So needless to say, this is an example of somebody doing it right. I would hate if somebody didn't go home on this day with this. That'd be nonsense. And that's the battle we fight today. And it's not worth fighting on the street. You got to take it to a legal process. You have to do it in front of a judge. I hope every single officer in that video is either highly investigated, and if not, like some of those guys should be seriously due time. I don't know what the process is for the legal system in regards to how they deal with loose cannons like that. Like, there was no superiority in that. I play a video game of police running around, and if one of my under police officers were yelling over me, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, shut up! You're embarrassing me. You know? And you didn't see that here. I sure wish the audio came up. If we could switch the audio output to the line 2. Yeah, you got her.
On which computer?
On this one. I think that's what it is. But with any and all, you can, from Discord itself, because I'm in Discord, you can do it from there.
In Discord on the main computer?
On the bottom of the screen, there's a microphone. No matter what I say here, guys, I seriously want to hear from you. Okay? I understand we all have different rights, and I understand that we have a right to fight, but we have to do it by a legal process. I will, for one, never condone violence. And unless you're defending yourself and so on and so forth, that's different. That's not the conversation I'm having. I will never condone violence to get our mission or our statement to other people. There's no reason for that. Absolutely not. But we just need to remember to, like, you will never win. I'm glad he didn't get beat up. I'm just jumping to the worst extent or the worst state of thing that could have happened. You know, he could have died. I've seen it, folks. People have died on the internet for far less than running a cannabis dispensary. So I'm very thankful that man's okay and that he gets to fight his fight in a court. And I hope his legal counsel sues the pants off the New York Police Department. So, anyways, that's my opinion. Very opinionated, but I'm very interested in what you have to say. So Neil say, Oki, 100% agree, P. Yeah, thank you. Yo, P. Normally they have to get controlled by of an illegal substance to just bust in like that. Now, the thing is, that's a very good point, Jester. The thing is that when you become a legal dispensary in New York, you, as this article states, you are not eligible, but you are susceptible to inspections. But these inspections, it says, are still required to have a court order. Of course you're going to have inspections. And I think anyone who has a legal, like I have a prescription to grow. Everything in here is 100% legal. 100% legal. I am so thankful for that. And as someone who is a law-abiding, sane and sober, moral, prudent person, I don't want to break the law. And the fact that I have this privilege, which I think should be a right, but I have the privilege to grow my medication, I'm not fucking with it. I've never sold any to my friends. I've gifted lots too. Okay, so one time, maybe a couple times, but it was at a really good price. I almost gave it to them. But I'm not going to incriminate myself, so no, I didn't. That's what Wikipedia will tell you. However, the reality is even in today's legal system, friends and family is much different. Never hustled. I never hustled for my income. I never hustled. I just grew an incredible amount of weed, and my friends and family watched, and they would help me harvest and all this shit, and I don't have to justify myself. However, that is tough. You know, that is prosecutable. And the thing is like, I don't want to jeopardize it. And I would hope that someone who's running a dispensary that would be pushing multiple six figures wouldn't be jeopardizing it either. And when the guy in red came in and said, hey, do you have any stizzies? And the guy was like, no, that's a problem I don't want today. That's today's problem or whatever. You know, that I understand. I understand that now if they had a court order and then they came in and said, okay, let's do a search. Sweet. That's a good play. That's a good play. I would have done you one better, and I would have said, sent like a 22-year-old kid in there, and I would have said, hey, do you have any stizzies, bro? And then if he, then send him in. Not an old dude that looks like a cop in a red shirt. However, I'm cool and hip. needless to say, that's the nudes in regards to the illegal search and seizures. The reality is that doesn't just happen to one-off people in a New York dispensary. You have to worry about that in other places as well. So please keep your eyes and ears open and play smart. Okay, play smart. The next conversation I want to have, I find myself in a position where, as a content creator, as I'll say it loosely, as not an educator, like, yeah, sure, you can say educator, but like as someone who spreads a word, I have a platform. And A, I take that very seriously. B, I know that I appeal the most when it comes to the algorithm and my channel when I make content for the new grower, right? When you're talking about things that get, it turn the most information from the highest level of intelligence to and reiterate it in a level that's just most consumable by the most amount of people. That's what I like to do. So I don't want to say I'm an educator, but it's like I just try to make intelligible information consumable. And so the way to do that is to make it in so a way that anyone can understand it. And that's not necessarily a new grower, but that's just the average person. And when I make this content, I understand that there's a lot of people that don't know a lot of things that I may have spoken on before, or I may have touched on, or in my opinion, that just get pushed so heavy that it's like, how is this not real? It sounds like there's a lot of issues here, and there's a lot of people that sound like they've been impacted by it. What are you talking about, pigeons? It's cannabis hyperemesis syndrome. These are these kind of buzzwords that I hear, and it frustrates me, because what is CHS? What is cannabis hyperemesis syndrome? Cannabis hyperemesis syndrome is essentially, can we get the definition? I'll pull up the actual definition of it. I think it is, okay, so CHS is defined by, these patients came to the emergency rooms complaining of reoccurrent episodes of intense nausea, vomiting for hours, unusual body temperature shifts, prolonged vomiting, dehydration of the body, and in rare cases can lead to death and kidney failure. Of course, anyone who's vomiting for too much is losing any kind of body fluids for any too long is not good. That's CHS. Essentially, this is a syndrome that's pushed by activists against cannabis to give discredit to our movement, rather than finding ways to mediate the issue. They use this evidence to just try to extinguish our industry. And that's where I feel like they go wrong. However, they use this as a way to say, well, look, people who smoke a lot of weed, they're getting viciously sick. Some of them are dying, which is not the case that I've ever heard of. But anyways, CHS is very similar to CVS, cyclical vomiting syndrome. What is that? It's the exact thing I just described: intense nausea, vomiting for hours, unusual body shifts, and it says prolonged vomiting and dehydration of the body. Sorry, I read that continuously and I didn't break for the period. So prolonged vomiting dehydrates the body, and in rare cases can lead to death or kidney failure. I think they should have said, or kidney failure or death. Or kidney failure from death. So remember earlier I said I can't read? So anyways, yeah. Kidney
failure from death?
So it can lead to death, from kidney failure. So I'm glad I got that out. Thank you. That's why there's two of us that run this show. So what's the difference between CVS and CHS? Well, weed. The only difference between those two things is that CVS happens to people who don't smoke weed, and CHS happens to people who do smoke weed. And they say typically people who use weed regularly. Now, I don't believe that CVS is the only reason to be concerned about CHS. CHS. I think there is legitimacy to people getting sick from weed. Okay, I do. And I think it's important for us to acknowledge that. I do believe that people have natural sensitivities to cannabis, whether it's cannabinoids, terpenes, whatever. However, I feel like those are the minority. If you ingest cannabis from all different varieties and all different locations, and you find that you get sick, don't use it, at least in that form, because you could be allergic. You might have a sensitivity. That is legitimate. However, to call it a syndrome, I think would be unfortunate. Someone who gets stung by bees and swells up doesn't have a bee sting syndrome. They have an allergy. There's a difference. The difference is the numbers and what happens. I'm not a doctor either, but the problem is that people are these activists miss what really could be giving good science to just clump things into a CHS. People who get sick using cannabis, fuck off. Cannabis doesn't cause that. I don't believe so. CHS, not the sensitivities. We're moving on from that now. CHS. Cannabis doesn't cause that. What else could it be? Well, it could be CVS. You could have this cyclical vomiting syndrome, which is just vomiting, like they said, without cannabis. It could be that. Or, and this is my other point, this is why I think everybody should grow their own, and this is why I feel like a lot of us get highly suppressed as we do, is because we encourage the average citizen to have the liberty to create their own medication. Why do I use the word liberty? Because I think it's your right. And I think that's why people big tech gets upset about that. But anyways, this is why I encourage people to grow, because neem oil or pesticides, neem oil or azridactin, which is the main chemical in neem oil, not chemical element, if you will, if you get overdosed on it, it also causes severe vomiting. Neem oil is a pretty common pesticide in the cultivation of our beautiful plant. So I'm not saying that that's the end all to be all. I'm not saying that CVS is the answer to be all. No, I think, is there a legitimate argument to there are people that have sensitivities? Yes. Is there another level that's something maybe a little bit above sensitivities, like allergies? Sure. Is there something above that? Maybe. Let's find that. I don't think it's CHS. I don't think that people, and let me tell you, I follow these people on Twitter where they actively use CHS as like a reason why parents need to watch out, their kids are going to die, and yada, yada, yada. It's absolute nonsense. The message gets missed when we exaggerate like that. And so I just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I don't believe in CHS at all. At all, in its purest form. I think it's being disguised as something else just so people have something to climb on. And maybe I only have that opinion because of the nonsense that I hear in support of CHS. So cannabis hyperemesis syndrome and all the stories that go with them are very sad. There are people that have gotten sick, very sick. Maybe they've died because of kidney failure or kidney failure that have died or whatever. I said backwards the first time. And sorry, I don't even want to joke. I'm not trying to make light of that. I'm not trying to make light of that because that takes away from my argument. That's not a joke. I think it's very sad. However, we got to be careful.
But get medical attention.
But get medical attention. Quit smoking weed.
Well, no, but like the kidney failure would be caused by dehydration over a long period of time.
Right.
So if you find yourself ill, get medical attention.
Get medical attention. Yeah, get medical attention. And I'm assuming this, I don't know how they treat this CVS. It is a pharmaceutical store, whoever asked for that.
IV fluids.
You need fluids. You need fluids. Maybe. Yeah. We guarantee, as basement doctors here in Canada, we guarantee.
That's
Okay?
the first thing they do anytime you go to the
Lawyer,
hospital.
doctor.
IV fluids.
Okay? Okay? Ben Shapiro, move over. All right? Come on, boy. Come on, boy. So needless to say, with any and all, and the reason, sorry, there was one more thing that I have, Mrs. P, that if you go and look up, just type in recall cannabis. Boop, hit enter. That's what that final page is. Recall something there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pull that up. If you go down the line, you just go down the line and there's our stats. It's okay.
My screen's just all wonky. I'll fix it.
Shit, Mrs. P, fix it on the fly.
There we go.
You have tons of products that say recalled in Missouri, recalled in New York, recalled in Ohio, recalled in. Products are being recalled because people are rushing. People are trying to push corners. People are trying to take advantage of you. Don't. Grow your own. Grow your own.
Lots of mold.
Okay?
Differences.
Lots of mold. So maybe that'd be causing people to throw up.
Absolutely.
Huh? Okay? So I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to be facetious, but I just want us to be careful that if you are buying products from out on the streets, or not the streets. That's not even what I'm saying. I would far better wager the shit on the streets better than the stuff that people are pushing you through the. No, you know what? I don't even want to say that because there's a lot. I got a lot of good friends that are doing things that I think are positive. That I don't want to shit on them. Shout out to Black Tie. Shout out to Toba Garone. That's pretty dang awesome. But with any and all stories, I want to hear from you. To cap things off. There's a little video on Instagram I want you guys to see. They're not going to have... let's see if we test the audio right here.
I didn't do anything to it.
Oh, you didn't change it to line 2?
I didn't know how.
Okay, on the...
I tried.
on the microphone, there's a little arrow. Hit
On
it
what
down.
microphone?
On the Discord. No, yeah, when you hover over the screen. Either or. There's the one that mutes it. Okay, and there's more options?
Yeah.
Okay, voice and audio.
There's microphone or voice activation.
Microphone. Well, there's drop-down menus. We're just trying to select an audio foil.
That's not it.
Okay, hold on. This is a big thing. Mrs. P learns on the fly, and she'll never have this problem again. On Discord.
Well, I went in here. Is this it?
Yep.
Okay.
Output.
Okay.
And line 2.
Jesus.
Yeah, it goes really loud. I'm not sure why.
Oh my God, that was loud.
But you're good. So I think that's it. I think that's it. Let's see, because this will be far more embarrassing when Chris is here. Because he'll hear me. Oh, he'll hear me, but you guys won't hear him. That would be what it is. But in Manitoba.
Oh, my screen's all wonky again.
That's okay. As long as we're kind of prepped for Chris.
Hi.
It lags. Remember? There you go.
I just want it somewhere in the middle. There we go.
Yep. As long as all the edges are on the outside for Chris, we're good.
Yeah. Okay.
So play this.
Third reading of Bill number 34, the Liquor, Gaming, and Cannabis Control Amendment Act. Is it the pleasure of the House to adopt the motion? Agreed, and so ordered. The Honorable Opposition House Leader.
On division?
It's been requested on division, therefore it's passed on division.
Yeah, they got it.
Current and third reading of Bill number 34, the Liquor, Gaming, and Cannabis Control Amendment Act. Is it the pleasure of the House to adopt the motion?
Laptop.
Agreed, and so ordered. The Honorable Opposition House Leader.
On division?
It's been requested on division, therefore it's passed on division. Current and third reading of Bill number...
That was it? That was it? Turn me back up.
Hang on.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You should have saw her face, guys. I'm sorry for those that are bleeding out of both ears. She looks at me, she's like, it's really loud. I could hear it from there through her headphones, and I could see the meter going, whoa. Like, I'm like, they know.
There's so many places to turn it down, and I didn't know which one to do.
The main. At that point, the main. Just turn down the main. That was beautiful. Thank you for those that are bleeding. If you could send your blood submissions, please, to 555. Because I want to get those samples and put them on a sheet somewhere.
No, that guy's mustache was too loud.
This is what it costs us to get it good audio around here. Huh? Not too loud for me. Yeah, I love it. Oh, I love the deaf ones are like, I heard you fine. Oh, I heard you fine. Oh, that's too funny.
Thanks, guys.
You might have to pull Chris in when he's ready. But guys, thank you, thank you. That was far less embarrassing to deal with without Chris being here to have to deal with it with me. But I wanted to speak on that because that is the official reading of what legislation, of what it sounds like when legislation's passed going through the House in Manitoba. My boy Jesse Tobagrone has been doing crazy things, and I've been kind of following and kind of promoting him as much as I can. I don't mean promote. That's not what I meant to say. I just kind of like voice his message as much as I could say, or as much as I can. And to see him doing those things, and that bill getting passed is a direct result of his work. That's what's happening around the world. So when we see dispensary owners having their doors kicked in, and we kind of see dispensary owners being taken advantage of, and our community kind of being etched at, that's the kind of stuff that we have to be proud of. So congratulations to congratulations to Jesse for doing his thing. Absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. I'm so proud of him, and I'm blessed to call him a friend of mine. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I've got someone who I can tell now is, oh, you bugger. I see. Yeah, I see what you've done. I was just going to say, he's not dressed like me today.
Kinda.
But here we go. Oh, my good friend, Mr. Chris, a.k.a. Mr. Grow It, is in the house with Tiwa Piu today. So let's do it, man. Let's do it. Chris, good to see you, man. You look very handsome.
Hold up. Okay, there we go.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm
Doing pretty good, man.
good. You look fantastic, bro.
Thanks, dude. You look good yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I the last time you came, I was like, is he look like me? And then I was like, he doesn't have the mic on or the necklace. I was like, we're just wearing a black hat and white t-shirt. I was like, okay, all right, we can handle this. Brother, good to see you, man. I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on.
Good to see you, man. Good show so far. I've been tuning in. Phew, crazy story, huh? But that raid, wow.
Man, I know. And you know what? You know what's crazy is that Vegas is kind of in the same situation where it's legal statewide. However, you very well could end up feeling the wrath of the federal government via these raids, right?
It's unbelievable.
It
sucks.
It does. Yep, it does. Chris, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate you coming back. I got to be honest with you. The very first time you came on, we were episode 1.
No.
Yeah.
2?
No.
Was it first?
Chris, I believe, was episode 1. Yep. And
Wow.
Yeah, that was rough.
it's fair to say we've come a long way, man. We've come a long way. So I wanted to have you back on because I wanted to do the episode justice and have just regular awkwardness rather than technical awkwardness. So, and I only mean awkwardness because, like, I don't know how many live streams or episodes you've done of things. I still get nervous before I go live.
Oh,
You?
yeah. I don't think that feeling's ever going to really go away. But once you kind of get in the groove of things, everything just, that whole feeling just goes away as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's what I like about working with, bro. You even have an ACI. You have the koozie too.
I wasn't trying to dress like you tonight, I promise.
That's so funny, man. I had to, all the little trinkets we got from Vegas, I had to take a little bit of everything. I got the poker chips on the table too. I was like, oh, nobody needs these, hey? I was gonna took some of those, and I've got my like Zippo right here. So yeah, I took a few items of everything, just so
Did
that.
you get any of the temporary tattoos?
No, I
Did you see
didn't.
those?
No, I didn't. Oh, there was stuff everywhere. You got temporary tent. Did you already use them all?
No, I have them. We should use them next time you guys are around.
Bro, there's a viral
right on my
video.
neck.
That's what I was just gonna say. There's a viral video of a girl that gets a fake tattoo on her face of something, and the internet goes absolutely wild because they think that she's getting a tattoo on her face, but it's a joke. So maybe we do something. Make it a joke. Make it a joke next time we're in together.
That'd be
You
cool.
down for that?
Yeah, definitely down.
Yeah. Good. It's funny. I didn't think you said anything. I moved you from one side to the other, and then all of a sudden I lost it. I couldn't hear you anymore. I was like, oh my god, come back.
Technical issues?
But I got
thought
you.
those were done.
I
with.
got you now. One thing. Yeah. I have this I found I had this hack where I was able to like have it where I have my audio coming through my phone through the mic or like through here. And it worked fantastic when it was way over there, and I used to turn my camera on so that my guests could like see what was going on, because it's kind of awkward. Like you're just talking. Well, you're talking to me.
Yeah, I can't
You're
see
talking
you
to me.
right now. I got to look at the live stream.
No. Yeah, I know, and it's like 30 seconds delayed, and it's like sometimes you don't know if I'm laughing or if I'm like crying a little bit. And so, but then I realized having it the thing on my phone. I'm using like an iPhone, whatever, 11 or something, 12, and it wouldn't connect. It had to be. It was so far away. So then my guests were cutting in and cutting out, and I was like, no. So, yeah, I had to put it right beside me. I don't know why that's an issue, to be totally honest with you. Do you have many issues when you have guests? Your show's so flawless.
Oh yeah, there's always issues. Well, I edit it after the fact, right? So it's like, it's pre-recorded. If it was live, it would be, I don't know. There's a lot of people with poor internet. You know what I mean? So it's like, and you use the platform that I use for recording the podcast, same platform. And if you have slow internet, it doesn't work as good. There's like a delay that happens when people are talking and I'm trying to talk, and sometimes it sounds like I'm talking over them or they're cutting me off. So like there's some sorting out to do post-production, like in the editing process, just like, spacing out the audio, and sometimes there's upload issues, and yeah, it's lots of technical issues happen even when you're just recording and editing later on.
We had an episode that we had to totally scrap. Eh? What was wrong?
Haven't we had a couple?
Did we have two? I think we only had one official one.
Oh, I know what you're talking about with the guest. The one with the guest.
Oh, you're right. I think we did have another. Oh, yeah. I'm only thinking with a guest. Right. I'm only thinking with a guest. We did have other ones. We would have multiple, but we actually refer. It's the funniest thing, because we refer to that to that video so often, and or that guest in that interview so often, and it never happened in real life. Because we had. I'm not gonna throw names actually, but this is the T with P, baby. We had a guest who came on, and he was very pro his genetics, and this is somebody nobody's heard of, thankfully.
Sorry, I gotta laugh at that one.
No comment. And so we had him on the show. He came in, and Rob will tell you that him and I had the same boots. Is he gonna say it? No. Wait for it. We had the same boots, and so it actually turned out. This might get a little close to who it is, but I actually had seen this guy on Instagram before, and I was like, bro, I couldn't believe that he was walking in. I had seen him doing something completely different, and then when he walked through the door, I was like, what? I was like, okay. So he exact same as you. He came in, and he had a conversation about genetics and herming, and anyway, long story long. Welcome to TOP. The episode I think had like a buzzing. Do you remember?
Was it a buzzing or like an in and out? I think it was like cutting in and out or something.
It wasn't sunk. That's what it was. The audio was like overlaid, like it was the delayed.
It was overlapping, yeah, because it was two different audio sources, and one of the audio sources was picking up the other. So we tried to mute another audio source, and you could still kind of hear it. And yeah, it was a mess.
It was
well,
tough.
not even fixable. We had to scrap the whole episode.
So what ends up happening? So that's what I had to tell the story, because there is a punchline. So what ends up happening is when he comes there, he gives us all his genetics. And they're really cool. They're kind of like labeled really cool, and they kind of look fire. It's funny, I have to use that term. And he's like, try these out. And I didn't have an opportunity to, but both you and Rob did, and they hermied both of them, right?
I had one that hermied, one that was like grew really weird. It like had overlapping leaves, like that the fingers of the leaves were overlapping on like almost all of them. And I thought it was hop latent viroid. So I actually submitted in for testing and it came out negative. But so that's within its genetics. It actually turned out to be pretty decent smoke. But yeah, one of them I had was hermed and was like, what the heck, you know? And it was one of those genetic herms too, where it's not, it's really at the nodes.
Exposed herm versus a stress herm, I guess would be to kind of break down what you're referring to. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Genetic
Now,
herm versus the stress herm.
I got you here. What are you sipping on for TOP? I can't quite see.
It's a beer.
It's a beer. It's a man's beer. I'm drinking beer too, and the reason I have to ask you this is because what is hop latent viroid?
It's
I didn't say that right.
pathogen. It's a viroid.
No audio.
And then you get the other side of things where people saying like, this could be the end. You know, 100% of genetics could get infected by the end of this. You know what I mean? In a short period of time. Apparently, 90% of cultivation facilities in California that were tested positive for hop latent viroid, and I think it was like 73% around the world tested positive. And yeah, it's kind of scary in a sense if you believe in it, I guess, right?
That's funny because
it
go ahead.
It attacks your plants. It slows your growth. You get this weird growth. You've got real weak branches, smaller yields. So yeah, it really just tackles several different systems within the plant apparently, in order to have those consequences. You know, yellowing leaves, stunted growth, smaller buds, weaker branches, things like the list goes on.
Good. And I'm glad, like, right before we switched the screen, you were like, it's kind of like a pandemic. And then you went on and explained it. And the chat didn't hear that because I don't have that audio source on that scene. So that was perfect. It's going to be it's going to be a perfectly planned catastrophe. That's fantastic. And now that I know, now I can direct everybody to your video because they didn't hear it from mine. Yeah, for the full screen. We'll just have to copy that audio source and put it over there. No big deal. You ever had a producer, Mr. Growit?
Wink.
Yeah.
You got Wink, the producer.
The second best.
Incredible, man.
Wink sabotage.
Shout out Wink.
Man, like from husband to business owner to business owner, you have influence in your space by your wife. Is that true? Is she helping?
I don't have a wife.
No, you're right. Your fiance. You're right. Oh, yeah, that was good. That was good. I was like, wow, he really threw out to dry on that one. But nope, he's right. He is right. Yeah, you guys are running a family business, right?
Yeah, well, she's working for the business now. Yeah, so she's helping out with like the newsletter. We got a weekly newsletter, Garden Talk Weekly. People can sign up on my website. She does that. She handles the clips channel, so Garden Talk clips. She's helping put those things out, make sure there's this consistent content being produced. And yeah, it's helpful for sure.
Man, that's too cool, brother. And like, let me tell you, I know it's a wonderful feeling because it's my other half running behind the scenes here too, and it's special to be able to say that we can conquer this together, you know. And yeah, to know where the where business ends and family begins is really important. And one thing I wanted to ask you, because your Garden Talk right now in full swing, boys and girls. It's in full swing. It's back in action. You've been having quite some conversations and some good ones, some really good ones. How does it feel to be back in the swing of things?
It feels great, man. Yeah, like last year I had to take a break for, it was actually 9 months where I was writing my second book, and got it right here. I'll do a little shameless plug here.
Please,
So
please.
spent some time writing this one, and finally got that one done. January 1st it was released, and then I was full in swing with the podcast there. So been running every single week since January. So back up and running for almost half a year now. And it's awesome. It's really good to get back in the groove on things. I think, I love it, right? I do it for myself in regards to trying to learn more about people and different gardening practices. But my audience gets so much value out of it as well, and that's why people tune into it. I'm so thankful that tens of thousands of people are tuning into it every single week, both just not on YouTube, but it's on all podcast platforms as well. So it's just really cool. And I'm so thankful. It's really the folks in the community and the ones that are commenting provide that fuel in order for me to keep on going. So, yeah.
Hell yeah,
awesome.
man. I know that feeling. And man, let me tell you, it feels good to have you back and in the swing, because a lot of great conversations by great people, and you're spreading the word of so many people, man. I'm curious. Here's one. Are you going to run out of things to talk about?
Man, I thought maybe that might be the case, but you got to think that so many different people, like everybody has their own style of growing, right? Like nobody really does everything the same in a sense. I mean, there might be some people overlap with processes that they do, but there are so many different ways to go about it. So like, even if I just have a conversation asking people what they do, I mean, that can be valuable. It doesn't have to be a specific topic about the hop laden viroid, for example, or training plants, for example, right? It could be about what they do in their grow from start to finish. And that could be different for everybody,
You're 100% right.
I don't know if there will be like a time we run out of things to really talk about.
Are you going to start charging guests for a spot? That's my next question. Because I want like a part 3, and I'm just curious how much it's going to cost. Because you and I have had 2 parts, bro. We've had 2 parts. And for a very long time, my episode was number 1, bro.
Yeah,
it was number 1. And now I've been surpassed. It's not a big deal. It's not like we look at these things, or it's not that we measure them, or it's a measuring contest at all. I don't know how I knew. Just
who passed you?
It. I think who passed me? Mr. Westport? It was one. It was close. I know Rob's is a couple down.
Oh, Chad Westport. Yeah.
It was?
How to grow dense buds.
I didn't even know that. I just guessed. Huh. What a surprise.
Chad Westport. How to grow and also Dr. Autoflower passed you as well.
You just broke his heart?
I'm number 3? I'm number 3?
Number 3 for... Yeah.
Oh, that look on your face.
Oh, wow. It's okay. Hey, these are great people. These are great people. I'm very proud of them. Oh, no, that's good. No. That was complete acting. I'm not actually heartbroken nor crying. No, that's awesome. And I think you're totally right in regards to having conversation and being able to ask differing opinions, because not only does opinions differ from so many different people, however, it also changes the process of which we are learning and doing things changes, seems like daily, and therefore our practices are challenged, right?
Yeah. New information's coming out, right? Scientists haven't figured it all out. There's new stuff coming out all the time, new products coming out all the time. Things are becoming easier in the grow, right? That can be talked about. So like, yeah, it's lots of things to be talking about in the gardening space, that's for sure. And we don't even just need to stop at canna, right? Like we could do other plants as well, which is, I've gotten into, there's been at least a couple of episodes that have been non-canna related,
Sorry, my audio's just my audio was just kind of catching up there. It was a little bit behind. We kind of see that advancement in technology every time we go to Vegas. I go to Vegas. You're already there. I go to Vegas and I see new things all the time. And whether it's like consumption, whether it's like concentrate, whether it's, generally I see a lot of tin, a lot of aluminum, but it's great to see innovation happening. And we kind of have our hand in something that's happening down there in regards to genetics. Maybe not. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, we already kind of spilled the beans on the breeding projects, the collaboration that we're kind of working on, bigger than just us, way bigger than just us. So, yeah, I don't know when we're going to be able to leak more details on that, but yeah,
not yet.
It's amazing to, it's amazing to see what comes out of all this,
Yeah, it will, man. I'm really excited too. And no, we can't get rid of too much because we got to leave a little bit for the main course, if you will. But it's some big things, man. Some big things, and some big things are happening, man. You and I are participating in the Growers Gauntlet. Last time you and I talked, I believe it was just a conception. I don't even think it was actually a reality. This was like 3 months ago, right? Do you remember?
I was trying to figure out when I was on here last. I think it might have been January. And yeah, I mean, the Growers Gauntlet, everybody dropped seeds. They had to drop seeds by 420. So
yeah,
April 20th. And so it's been almost, been well over a month now since people have dropped seeds, and it's going good. And we do updates. Well, I don't really do updates. Rob does the updates, video updates, live stream updates every other week. I've tuned into one of them. I need to get in there more often. It's a really bad time for me. Family wise, that time slot with family. But anyways, yeah, if you guys haven't tuned into the Grower Gauntlet updates, CLTV, check out that channel. And it's every other Wednesday is when he does it
next
at
week.
6 p.m. So next Wednesday at 6 p.m. he'll be doing it.
Yep. Yeah, time zones are tough, bro. It's like Rob and I are much closer in time zones. You're 2 hours behind me and 3 hours behind him. So it just that space, we are all family, man, and it is very difficult. And he is too. I'm a strong proponent of family time. Family time. It's only a few hours a day, and it makes that collaborating really tough. But huge shout out to Rob, man. Huge shout out to Rob, because when it comes to he is the stallion. There's no other way to describe it. He's been the stallion that's been champion and pushing the gauntlet forward, along with so many things. But the gauntlet in particular has been an absolute blessing. And there's some big things at stake with that. Someone's gonna be coming out to L.A., bro. We're gonna be chilling with someone, man. Could you believe if I told you? I gotta look forward. There's so many monitors in this studio. It's crazy. I gotta look forward. Could you imagine if I told you 7 years ago that we would be hosting events and we would be meeting with I want to say fans. I don't want to refer to them as that. I don't like that. Members of the community, and we'd be toking with them. What would you have thought? What would you have thought when you put your first video out? If I had told you right then, bro, you're going to be, I know you already dabbled in the YouTubes, but did you ever think that you'd be smoking with the community in LA like this?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that if you told me that back then, I would think that could be a possibility for sure.
Yeah.
Only maybe because I've been in other
Mr.
YouTube
Vegas.
communities before this. So, I know like there's a possibility of things like that where, you travel and do collaborations and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's as far as it being somebody wins and is flown out to hang out with us. Like that's just so unique. Like I don't think anybody's really done that in this space yet. And so I'm looking forward to it. A week in LA, fly out, hang out with us. We're going to the High Rise place, and I don't really know what the whole agenda is, but
no one does.
It should be a really fun
That's
week
cool.
for sure.
No, it's going to be freaking awesome, man. No, shout out to the High Rise guys too, because allegedly they may be involved, and man, I love those guys. Every time we get out, it's a great time with them. We've run into them a couple times, and they're always a hoot, man, when we run into them. And we've had them on the show. Did you have Derek or anyone on Garden Talk? Because it's not really much garden talk. Have you had them on
No,
the show?
nobody. I don't think those guys grow.
Right.
I think they did one grow, and it was on their channel, and it was like a catastrophe. They had like mites or something like that, and then they got rid of the grow. It's kind of funny. I think those guys are just consumers.
Oh no! Damn that they had the mites. That sucks. But no, yeah, huge shout out to them. It's going to be quite an event, man. And yeah, like I live in the middle of nowhere, population 200, and it's a little more than 200. My small town wife would be like, "We have more than 200 people.
1,200.
It's 1,200. We have a street." But anyways,
Just because there's no traffic lights.
it's surreal, man. It is surreal. It's cool to be able to say that, like, in our community, this kind of stuff is happening, because you're right. I'm not sure if someone else can find another example of someone who's getting flown out from Lord knows where in America / the continent and to LA to come hang out and smoke about it, man. I think that's pretty sweet. I'm honored to be a part of it, you know?
Yeah, it should be really fun. Also looking forward to the other thing we have going on with AC Infinity, because I know AC Infinity is involved with the with that LA trip. Their sponsor, Stash Blend, Grower's House. Who am I forgetting? I think they're Seedsman. But AC Infinity, we've got. I don't know if you've talked about it. Have you revealed that on your show yet? Or what?
No, please. Nope, please. This is the first of it. T with P.
This is the first with the exclusive. So we have been asked to do a show on AC Infinity's channel. So that is, I believe it starts next Tuesday. Hasn't confirmed yet, but probably next Tuesday evening, we will be doing a show. Me, Pigeons, got Rob, Wink on the ones and twos, and got From the Stash, highly educational.
Highly educational. Yeah, I love it, man. I'm stoked about it, man. It's gonna be it's gonna be a much more hands-on show. We're diving in a little deeper than we would with From the Stash, in my opinion, when it comes to the growing aspect, of things. So I'm really stoked about it. And yeah, it's the first time I haven't mentioned it, so I'm really excited. Let's just ACI for a second, man. They're really starting like a network. Hey, they're starting like a network over there on their channel. They've got Northern Scrogger on Sundays. Is it Sundays? It's Sundays. It's Sundays, yes. And then they've got the After Dark on Wednesdays, and now they're going to have a highly educational, From the Stash, highly educational, following highly educational uncensored, on Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken. It's Thursdays?
I think we're doing Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, that's right. That's why I got you here, Chris.
Everything gets confirmed tomorrow, right?
Everything is going to be confirmed tomorrow. That's right. Bum, bum, bum. Insinuating that something happens tomorrow that nobody knows about. So yes, I think you're right. But we'll have more information about it as time finds on. Yeah, I'm really excited about it, man. I think it's going to be something big, something nude, and I'm really stoked about it, man. We got lots of projects going on. Last I talked to you too, you moved, bro. You're in a new studio, man. What happened?
Yeah, in the new studio. I've been here since the middle of March now. It's kind of crazy that the time has flown by so quickly here. 2.5 months. It's like, what the heck? And so I've got a new grow up there. I've got another tent. You know, I usually had, in my last place, I had enough room for 2 tents. I had a 4x4 and a 2x4. Now I've got a little bit bigger of a room, so I can add in not just the 2x4 and 4x4, but I also got a 4x8 in there as well. And starting to trickle in some content on my main channel. I did just kind of back to the basics with grow tent assembly videos. I did like a handful of those. I did one on ventilation.
I saw that. That was in depth.
All about ventilation. And then I did one, I'm doing one, it should be released this Sunday, is on the lighting aspect. So install lighting. And then we go ahead and we get into the grow. And starting from the beginning with, seedling stage and kind of working our way through the grow. So that'll be a pretty cool grow series that I'm looking forward to here. And then I've got just a whole bunch of different topic type videos that I'm going to be working on. And I'm excited about some experiments, I guess I could call it, that I think people are going to think are cool. That'll be on the main channel eventually. So
hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it's exciting to be in this new space. It's kind of like revive, that motivation. A lot of work to be done. I don't just have indoors here with a larger space, but I also have outdoors. Now I actually have land, and I'm growing non-canna plants, right? So I'm actually going to have an orchard with a whole bunch of trees and a couple raised beds, and might tap into the soil here that's mostly rock and try to get something growing here, reviving the soil some way and composting. And so it's just the beginning. I can only imagine what this place is going to be like 5 years from now, right? When that piece of land that is just dirt and rock, how much I've revived it by then. At least I'm hoping I'll be able to do it, right? Should be able to do it if I'm following all these things here that you need to do in order to revive it. But it's new for me, man. It's new, it's exciting, and I'm definitely motivated and happy to be able to create content and bring it to the community, and hopefully people vibe with it, you know?
Hell yeah, Will, man. Bro, like, there's nothing that I can relate with more than when you say, like, trying to have a space that motivates you and encourages you to create. Because, bro, this space that I have is literally that, man. When I created the space and had the ability to spread my wings, man, it's like I got purpose-built space. Studio does what it needs to do, kitchen's doing what it needs to do, the backyard does what it needs to do, and it's nice to be able to, like, it's nice to have your own space. And you're in particular, your studio, I've seen behind the scenes a little bit, and I know that you have a little more room to navigate up there, and having that room is huge to be able to just breathe a little bit, man. Breathe. And if there's a little advice I can give you, if any, because I just love to give unsolicited advice, very quickly, your space is going to get cluttered. Don't let that happen. Don't let that happen. I know it's going to happen, but when you get rid of that clutter, man, that feeling inside feels so good. So good. You got your space back. So remember that. Don't let clutter take up your space. But
great advice. Great advice.
I only say that because I'm balls deep in trying to clean this space, because I'm envious of you in regards to you've been doing online. When did you start doing online content? Or sorry, not online, video, YouTube. No, grow videos on YouTube. 16?
2015.
15. Okay, you were longer than me, so it's like I envy.
Was I?
Yep, YouTube in 16. I started blogging in 14. But the thing is that I don't like using the word envy because I think that's the wrong word to use. But I admire that you are so willing to capture your growing experiences time and time again. I hit a lull, bro. I'll be honest with you. Probably about 7, 8, 9 months ago. Maybe my kitchen has a lot to do with it. But anyways, about a year ago, I hit a gardening lull where I have two tents, and one of them stays relatively empty most of the time. And I always like to create gardening content. I feel like there's so many people doing it so much better than me. You're one of them. So I just admire that your resilience and willingness to keep sharing your experiences, because it becomes tough. How do you stay motivated, bro? Because I know you don't game with your homies. Sorry, that was a bit aggressive.
I totally get what you mean with you can lose motivation. That's for sure. Like that happens. That's happened to me, and it's hard to get it back. And it's discouraging when you see those other content creators that you feel are doing a better job than you. But you got to just keep on going, and then take a break if you need to. Like I've taken several breaks. You dig back on my main channel the past couple of years, and there's less than a dozen of videos, I think, in the past year. So it's like I struggled. I had other things going on, right? So like I prioritized other things and just don't have time for the main channel. But being able to now have, like we talked about earlier, have my fiance working for the company as well. She helps out. She's going to be learning editing as well. So that's going to help out, and filming. So eventually it'll be really cool to get more content out, because it's not just me doing everything, you know what I mean? And that's a motivating factor of it. But yeah, there's definitely been down times where it's like, man, I'm not really motivated to do it. And I think in particular, the biggest thing is I used to spend hours, like 6+ hours per video, just doing like transitions, effects, overlays, sound effects, just all that stuff, just trying to make the thing look real visually appealing. So kind of high production. I wouldn't say it's as good as like Mr. Canucks or Dakota Homegrown TV, you know, they're incredible. They take it to the next level for sure. But at somewhat of a level, as far as the editing, transitions, all that stuff takes so much time. And so when you're spending years doing this stuff, it gets repetitive and you lose motivation. And so I've switched up my style. If you look at the past 4 or 5 videos on my channel, it's mostly just jump cuts, right? It's mostly just, there's not really many transitions. There's not many overlays. It's really just me speaking in front of the camera, or behind the camera actually, and showing what I'm doing, and then just jump cuts from scene to scene. And it makes it so much easier to get content out. Now it's not as highly edited and really visually appealing that a lot of content creators do, and a lot of people say that you need to do in order to keep the person watching the video. But I feel like the information is there. The information is there, and I feel like people who are interested will stick around, you know? So I'm trying to focus more on just giving the information and not worrying about the fancy editing as much. And we'll see what happens. Maybe the channel will collapse. I don't know. Or maybe it'll do good. So
You know what?
the point is, as long as I'm enjoying doing it, and I see some people, you know, commenting and saying, "Hey, this is valuable. Thank you for doing this," that'll keep me creating content for that channel, you know?
Good for you, bro. Like, you know what? Your information is so valuable, you are valuable. Your willingness and your character and your delivery is Mr. Grow It. That's Chris. And the delivery and the method to which you choose to give, I think, is valuable. People want that information. And you know what? Let's not take away from High Again and Homegrown TV and Mr. Canuck, because they're providing something that I, quite frankly, can't. And I'm so thankful that they're here for that, because that's what we inspired, man. Starting in 2014, starting in 2015, you know, it's like, that's the kind of content that we inspired, and I'm blessed by that. And I think too that, you know, there's avenues for content. People, personally, I don't know if you've ever watched the series Frozen Planet from Nat Geo, or no, Discovery. No, it's David Attenborough, and essentially it's a documentary on the frozen planet, and it sounds boring as shit actually as I say it out loud, but it's actually quite captivating. And some people would look at that and be like, well, no thank you. But there's an audience for it, man. I love looking at how the world works and its intricacies, and sometimes I don't want to listen to somebody. Sometimes I just want to see it, or sometimes I just want to be able to sit back and just soak it in. And I think that your delivery and your method is valuable, and I'm glad that you're doing it, because as a fan of yours, someone who was a fan before we were friends and partners, I love seeing your content, and you're motivating. You encourage a young creator or a young grower to take a step forward and gamble on something that you're just not sure about. So you definitely have that to attribute to yourself, because over the years it's definitely been a change of pace. The very first video, I think we talked about this actually, very first video I ever seen of yours, you were headed to MJ BizCon, bro. So like it was like 2000. When was the first time you went?
I think it was 2017. So
I bet you it was then. When was the
next year's when you tuned into my mind?
It would have been the next year. That's when you recorded
it. Yeah. Well, you said you started in 2016, and I recorded the video in 2017. So
right. So it would have been then.
It would have been you started.
Yeah. That's when I would have saw you first, because I'll be frank with you, when the first year of my content creation, I was like a bloodhound, man. I was like, content, how to top, how to transplant, because there was so much things I was learning. I was like, I want to share everything. So I didn't see a whole lot. But when you were showing yourself going to MJ BizCon, I was like, wow, this is a weed guy in a weed place doing weed things. Oh,
cut out there,
man. Yeah, I was like motivated, bro.
Lost your
I was
audio.
motivated. So that's definitely Oh, you lost me?
Got no audio.
Check 1 2. I know that they. Oh, it did. Oh, I got disconnected. The crowd can hear me, so I love that they can hear this. You might have to pull me back in.
You're in.
All right, try again. Pull me in. There we go.
Technical difficulties.
There we go. See, the thing is the chat. The wonderful thing is I pull in so many audio. You can hear me now, eh?
And I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah. The wonderful thing is I'm pulling from so many different audio sources. Is you've got me on a different audio source than the stream has me, so they can hear me the whole time, no matter what happens to you and me. So that's kind of wonderful. But as I was just saying, it's like you motivated me. And it's crazy to think how after all these years how far we've come, and to think we're still motivating each other. We're doing From the Stash, we're doing these events, we've been in person multiple times, and we're traveling together. Or I'm not, no, actually, in fairness, we've never traveled together, but you're coming to Canada this year, right?
Be there. Yep. Passport came in, so ready to go, dude. I can't wait to get out there.
Mrs. P's.
But wait, you said there's only like 1,200 people in your place? Why are we going there?
That's a great question. Because there's only 1,200 people, bro.
No, I am so excited because of the way that they looked at us when we went to Vegas for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
We were so starstruck.
Yeah.
This is why.
Okay. So yeah, this is what it was. Is that when we went to Vegas, we were so starstruck by just everything. And you guys were kind of like, this is how you guys are going to be in Canada with 1,200 people. With like, you don't see people every day. You'll be like, oh, yeah. It's just a way different. How big you're from Boston? How big were you? How big was the city you were in when you were in Boston?
So right north of Boston, a town called Billerica. I believe there's about 35 to 40,000 people that live there.
Okay, so that's
This is
Brandon.
Gonna be shock.
Yeah.
This is gonna be shock.
It's going to be a shock. That's what Deanne says. It's going to be a shock. Ugh.
Is there like a hospital there or anything in case we get injured? Or
No
what
hospital.
then?
No
20
hospital.
geez.
Just mushrooms. and I got an electric car, though. I got an electric car. We could, I can get you there with no fuel spent. So you're not leaving a carbon footprint to your delivery to the hospital 30 minutes away. Okay? I want you to know that.
30 minutes isn't too bad.
Are there roads?
It's are there roads? Rob's curious if there's roads.
They're all gravel.
They're all gravel. We have one paved road. Okay, it's called the highway. You have those down there? Yeah? No. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Let me drive on the left side of the road instead of the right side of the road. And
I'm so excited.
After a few drinks. Yes.
Different languages, and it's a whole new world out there.
It's a whole new, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Canadian is the language. Yeah, Canadian's the language, bro.
I eat poutine.
Yeah, we're gonna, man. I already said we're gonna tear it up, man. And we've got so many things planned. We're gonna do content, but then we're gonna relax and enjoy ourselves, because as I was explaining to Mama Kush and Mr. Ganix and Sea Bunny earlier on HGTC, because I had their show right before this one. I was saying that when we travel, we are so busy, man. Like we never, obviously, because we try to capitalize, but we never go to just chill. We are always go, and to the point where we literally bring Mrs. P, who I might have just doxed. We bring Mrs. P, and she's the one that runs our itinerary. She's the one that makes sure we get fed. She's the one that makes sure we're on time, because it's always go. It's gonna be nice to be able to relax with you boys, eh? You agree? Or you just
Yeah, it will be nice to settle down a little bit. I mean, our last 2 trips have been hospital trips. You know, at least I went to the hospital last time. Before that, Wink,
right.
although he didn't go to the hospital, he just suffered an injury
should have.
and dealt with it. But yeah, it would be nice to slow down a little bit, you know.
In the middle of nowhere. Or did you lose me?
I lost them again. No, yeah, it will be nice, bro. It will be nice. I love how in the best conversation it decides it's gonna bug out. Can you hear me now? Perfect. Yep.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be nice, because not only are we gonna spend some time on the lake, we're gonna enjoy some good Canadian food. We're gonna enjoy some nice. There's literally no distractions. Literally, I was able to Canadian beer, which is primarily American beer. But we does have is Miller Lite? Do you have Miller Lite down there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well,
So
what's
it's probably
Canada?
Canadian.
Canada's like Molson. Molson's Canada, right?
Yeah,
And
Molson's
what else
piss,
is-
but we've got we have Coors. Is Coors Canadian? Probably not. Eh?
Coors is American, isn't it?
Of course, it's American.
I bet you it's all Canadian. You're just taking our shit. Come on.
Maybe.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser. Yeah. Well, they bought it all. We have Alexander Keith's. Do you have
Moosehead.
you have Alexander Keith's Moosehead?
We got Moosehead, Molson, Coca-Cola,
Okay.
Labatt.
Well, I actually like. Which one do I like of Alexander and Moosehead? It's Alexander Keith's. I like Alexander Keith's. We'll get you some Alexander Keith's when you're down here. A good Scottish beer from Nova Scotia.
If you have some Pilsner.
Lost you
Oh,
audio
Pilsner.
again.
Pilsner's piss as well, though.
Pilsner's piss.
That's darn. Like most beer. Do you like most beers or no?
No audio.
No audio again.
Oh. Why are you doing me like this?
Lost
I
you.
love it. The streak is still here.
Got
Like
nothing.
this cat. It's all piss. That's the last thing they're gonna hear. There, I'm in the token song. Oh, it was wonderful.
I don't understand.
Pull me back in. It's the connection between. I'll figure this out. I'm gonna figure this out.
Well, the internet was out for a good chunk this morning.
Oh, we do have a
Back?
storm. Yeah, I'm here. We do have a
Back, right.
storm rolling through here too. That is a very key thing, but I don't think that's what it is between us. A lot of and the point to my story was we have a lot of piss actually for beer. A lot of piss. Yeah. So that's probably not going to be what I introduce you to.
Caesars.
All right.
Yeah.
Caesars.
Yeah, I'll get you a good quality Caesar though. No, he had a Caesar. Did you try the Caesar that Kevin made for us in the MGM? Was it the MGM?
No, that was
Mm-mm.
at.
Oh no, Caesar salad.
No, the drink, the
no,
Caesar
that
drink,
was at Resort
Mm-mm.
World,
the Resort World.
and it was
You
nowhere near.
ever had a drink?
It was
No, it was
nowhere
kind of close.
It was nowhere near.
It was kind of
Mm-mm.
close. No.
No.
Okay, Rob had one. He didn't like it, but I'm gonna let him try again. I know he won't like it though, but I'm gonna let him try again.
We're gonna do good Caesars.
Yeah. Yep. Good Caesars. So I was gonna spend the last hour trying to convince you to play video games with me, but I got distracted, slightly. So now this is where I spend the last 10 minutes trying to distract. What do you? I wanted to kind of just tell you that it's not the devil calling you, okay? It's the Lord. All right, when it comes to video games, because this is the time to unwind. What do you? Since I know you're not playing video games to unwind, what do you do to unwind, my friend? To relax, just
watch YouTube.
chill. Yeah.
Watch some YouTube. Yeah, watch non canna stuff. So there's a lot of great content creators, man, that are outside our space that I like to tune into. And yeah, when I'm like not doing anything that's canna related, it's kind of just turn my brain off of that, and I'm either with my fiance and my daughter, or I am just kind of tuning into YouTube or family, or I like to hike, and there's our walks, exercise, started working out again, so I'm feeling pretty good lately. And yeah, that's mostly what it's been. I mean, honestly, I got she's an 8-month-old now. She just turned 8 months today, and that has just rocked my world. You know what I mean? Like the change in my life has been significant. So a lot of time has been spent with family and my daughter.
Good. You should give that up for video games. Like
Dude, I told you when I'm going to start video games. GTA 6. Once that drops, you got me. You got me locked in.
good.
Don't worry.
Good. We got him. Rob, we got him.
2029,
GTA 6.
once it's released.
It's going to come out in 2023, 2030. Yeah, 2029. Yeah. I that's good, man. Getting outside, I think, is huge. From man to man, husband to fiance to husband. You're getting married this year or no?
Next year.
Next year, I know what I know, but I gotta let him say it so that it doesn't sound like I know it, so that he says the information on his own. Next year, that's news to me.
Year, and you should be there. You should
What?
be there. You're invited.
Me?
You and Mrs. P.
We're invited.
You told me you weren't taking.
I told Mrs. P I'm not taking her though. I'm bringing Trey Strongs, You ever heard of him? Yeah, man, I'm I'm super stoked for you and Mrs. Growit, man. You two are absolute gems, and it's a blessing to know the two of you. And you and I alone now have been working together for 3 years plus. I think this is 4 years actually. Correct me if I'm wrong. In 2 months, July, August, September, in 4 months, we celebrate 4 years. No?
Yeah, and I think
Wow.
4 years ago, I want to say June, it might have been July, is when we first met and filmed that Garden Talk, episode 2, I think it was.
Oh,
Wild.
oh my God! And that's the ball that really started things rolling. To be honest, man, that's so cool, man. And that was so long ago. We were just little boys back then. And to think how much we've grown. That's too cool, man. That's really cool. It's been a long time. It's funny
I know.
how long
Flies.
like content changes, man. Like content, the game, the online game. We have such versatile. Maybe that's not the word I'm looking for. It's such unstable. It's such a ever changing, in regards to the content that comes out, the people that come out. Because there's been a ton of great content creators in the game throughout the years. Who inspired you in 2015?
2015?
Yeah, when you started. Were you inspired by anyone or just
Yeah, I
forward?
mean, geez, Grateful Grower, he was there right before me, I believe. He had started. He was really fun videos. Grateful Grower. I know you did a
Yep.
video on him.
Yep.
Wish he were to come back from the community. We don't know what happened with him. That's a big mystery there.
Well, it I believe he moved. And I think I know he's a God-fearing man, so I think he just found his purpose. I think he found his purpose, and I've been using envy a lot. I admire that because he did send out a video that like it was him and he was okay and stuff like that. So I think he just found his path. So the reason I say this because I share the same inspiration.
Yeah, so he was an inspiration. I'm trying to think back then. Grow 420 Guide, he was an inspiration. There's a smaller content creator who I really liked, and nobody probably knows him. Piss Drunks 420. Piss X Drunks 420. I think if you search for him, you still find his videos, but he probably was one of the ones that inspired me the most just because of the way he spoke. Like he was very professional in the way he spoke and like handled himself, I felt like. And I was like, I'm kind of like him in a sense to where I feel like if he can do it, I could probably do it too. And there are people who like his content. And if I'm creating something similar, because we have kind of similar styles, maybe people will like my content. And so he's probably the main person that kind of got me involved in this space, really, to be honest. But there was a whole bunch of people back then, man. I'm missing so many names. Seattle Grower 420. Gosh, I can't even remember. This space is kind of like a revolving door. You mentioned it's ever changing. It's a revolving door. There's so many content creators coming into the space and going. And it's been just people coming and going for the past, 9 years since I've been doing this. Just wild that's been 9 years that I've been on YouTube making grow videos.
That's an anomaly, man. That's an anomaly to say that you've been making videos on YouTube, and you in fact have been doing longer. We got this into this in the last video, and many other videos, but you've been doing YouTube longer than that. But it's crazy. Like that's the anomaly, There's quite a few people that have over 1 million or over 10 million subscribers. But I would argue there's less people that have been doing this for over 10 years. And that's something to be proud of, man. It is ever changing, and it is something to be excited about when you can say that we made it this long. Who knows what it's going to bring for the future, man. But we share a few of the same mentors. I don't know. Yeah, mentors, if you will. I don't know. I didn't know. Would you say Pix Drunk?
Piss X Drunks 420.
Yeah, Piss. I don't remember him, but I remember Grateful Grower. I remember not Custom Grow. You said Grow Guide. He was a huge
Grow
inspiration for me as
420 Guide.
well. The time has evolved. Yeah. Yep. Custom Grow 420 Guide. Yep. Or Grow 420 Guide. Yeah. I'm getting them mixed up.
Custom Grow 420. That guy is
not
goofy.
an inspiration. Not an inspiration. Anything but. I don't want to bring too much shade. Obviously, you can say what you will about him, but he is, or was, I think Mr. Canuck's going to pass him in no time, but I think he is the biggest entertainer in our space still, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I mean, like, Canna space. Like, I think he's got like 1.6, I don't know where he's at now.
1.73. I'm looking up right now. 1.73 million followers.
1.73 million. So he's been heavily restricted, obviously, and not necessarily because his content's gone down to the tank, but because of just the restrictions of what it takes. And you know what, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just, it is what it is. He's the biggest in the space. So needless to say, there's more people that have been doing this, or that have more subscribers than who have been doing this longer, or whatever. I've been drinking lots.
He's just consumption, though, right?
He's just consumption. Yeah, Mrs. P's asking.
Can we have a hoot or what? Can we hoot on this?
Yeah,
show
you're damn right. Yeah, you're damn. Can we hoot? I should have. I was so comfortable. Yeah, 100%.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, brother. You told me, and I'll let you finish your hoot, so I'll continue talking while you smoke it. But what are you smoking? Is this This isn't the Candy Land or Candy Mountain.
No, I'm smoking Dead Ops OG by Zaza Genetics.
Oh, yes. And what do you think? You and I talked about this earlier.
We talked about it earlier. Yeah, it's very fuely, like super, super fuely. And I must say, I've grown out his Dead Ops OG. I had 2 of his plants that were, I think, F2s. And then I also, this recent harvest was an F4. So he's continued his inbreeding line, working the line down. And it's different. What I got from his F2s is different from the F4s. And I like the way what he did with his genetics as far as bringing it down the line and what he got as far as a terpene expression out of it. Very, very fuely gas, that it's just, how did you explain it earlier? It's, gosh, what was it? It was butane or something. I don't know.
It was like, I felt like it was like huff of gasoline for the cat.
Right?
Yeah. It's honestly, it's exactly what it smells. It was a wonderful high. It grew great. Quite frankly, other than the punch of fuel, I compare it very similarly to Chill Out OG. Chill Out OG has not a subtler, I wouldn't say much subtler, but it has a subtler fuel to it. More of or at least what I've got, more of an earthy tone. Far more, I would argue, pleasing to the average palate. Because Chill Out OG is a little more fuely. I believe that's a little more off-putting to the average nose. So that would be the difference between the two. I enjoyed growing both of them, and I'm actually consuming Chill Out OG right now, and that's how I would describe it: pleasing, very satisfying to the average nose. Someone's not going to be like, "Oh, it's too gassy," and I think somebody, excuse me, like myself or Rob, would say it's got a nice gassy undertone to it. It's what I'm looking for. So yeah, 2 great smokes.
Yeah, one thing I'll tell you, and I don't think I've ever said this to anybody, is I almost didn't release Chill Out OG because of its earthiness. And this is me, like I love it. I loved everything that I got out of it, but I was thinking about the market and thinking about the community and what people want. Everybody wants these like dessert flavors and candy and fruity, and that's what everybody's going after. So like for me to release something that's more of an earthy side with that fuel undertone, like you mentioned, I was so nervous, and I thought Rob was going to hate it. He was one of the first people to get his hands on it. And I was so nervous, man. I thought he was going to trash me in all his videos.
and for the record, he would.
And I was like,
he would.
Oh gosh, this is great.
This is honest.
And then you ended up liking it too. And man, so many people that have been growing it out, thousands and thousands of people now. And people love it, dude. It's an incredible feeling that it's not just me that likes it, but other people like it.
Yes.
And so yeah.
But
it almost didn't get released.
Man, I didn't know that. Nope, I didn't know that. And I'm so glad you did because I know, like, with smoking it, growing it, I know you had the community's interests in mind, because it's so easy. It speaks to the largest margin of people. It gives you the gas that you're looking for in case of Rob, who does appreciate the gas far more than we do. Or not that he appreciates it more, it's just that's really all he likes. I can enjoy some earth. I can enjoy some fruit. I can enjoy some spice. And I'm not saying that Rob can't. He's a fucking snob. But I'll
he's not here in the chat.
Yeah, heaven forbid. Oh, Jesus. No, the thing is that, there's nothing I'm saying he wouldn't disagree with. The thing is that when you're trying to have a product that's going to sell or speak to people, you want something that's not going to be too far in one direction. That's basic thugonomics, man. You want to meet it in the middle. And I'm not saying that a Chill Out OG is average weed. It isn't. No, it's not. It's a quality weed. I really enjoy it. It's a whole day weed for me. Keeps me motivated, lots of conversation, keeps me coherent. I'm not inebriated, and I know that you enjoy a high that's not as intoxicating as well. So it kind of speaks to you and what you're looking for.
Yeah, it got a little bit of each of the parents. So the Brisker OG is the male, and then I used a Pakistan Valley, which is a landrace, 100% indica landrace, for the female. And I loved both of those individually, and that's why I crossed them. But the Pakistan Valley, being a full indica, whatever, I know, indica sativa, blah, blah, blah. But that aside, it being more of a couch lock effect, right? It really was in that sense, where it's more like a narcotic effect. And I slept so well off it. I was able to spark up a bowl before going to bed, fall asleep very easily, and sleep great throughout the night. So that's really what I leaned towards that one for. But the Brisker kind of kept me up. It wasn't as narcotic. It had like that fuel, and it had very euphoric. So, we talked about most of those things. I think the earthiness is coming mostly from the Pakistan Valley, although some of the Pakistan Valleys I've had have been more of a sweet, like a fruity sweet, which has actually come out in some of the Chill Out OG phenos as well. But good cross of the parents really came out. A combination of those characteristics came out in the Chill Out OG, and I'm so happy with it,
So, man, it speaks to the most amount of people. And like I said to people before, I was like, I'm so glad it's good, because I know that Rob would have done the same thing, man, in regards to, if it wasn't good, I probably wouldn't have talked about it so much, but I would have been honest to the people and just said, it's not for me. It's not for me, So, but I'm so thankful that it is. I'm so thankful. I can tell you did
a fantastic job growing it, dude. You did. You were able to bring out more colors than I think anybody that's grown it so far. You had some really dark colors out there, and I know your secret to success on that avenue, but really, really great job. I hope you got some good photos off of that one.
Bro, I got some quality photos because of you. I got quality photos. I got some good ones. Yep, I got some good ones. I'm gonna send them. Chris, seriously, bro, thank you so much, man. You and I, of course, could talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And I appreciate you so much for being here. More importantly, I appreciate you for being a good friend and a quality business partner. Rob and I are twice the men that we are today because of you. And I know that we motivate from each other, and it's such a symbiotic relationship, and I'm very thankful for that. Real quick, I know you're selling your book. Anything else? What you got growing on right now that you would like the few people that are left to tune into to let know?
Just huge main channel. So if you search Mr. Grow It on YouTube, that's my main channel, and then you also find Garden Talk with Mr. Grow It. There's that's my podcast channel. Both of those should be very active here for the whole year. Go to my website, mrgrowit.com. Sign up to the email list. There's a weekly email that I send out with kind of a recap of the content that I put out. Plus, sometimes I feature somebody else's content. and then some cool products that I found.
And some drops
that week or I known of. And some drops. Yeah, that's where you'll find where the genetics drops are. So if anybody's interested in genetics, that's the way to find out about it, is through the email list. So mrgrout.com, scroll to the very bottom of the page, sign up to that email list, and you'll be notified when things are released. Those are the main things. On Instagram, I'm not really that active, a little bit with stories and stuff, at mr.growit. All other accounts are impersonators. There's about a half a dozen impersonator accounts. Instagram is terrible, at mr.growit. That's it. That's my only account. So I just want to let everybody know about that. Other than that, yeah, I just got the 2 books. This one originally released in 2016, revised in 2020, revised a couple times. The latest revision is 2020. And then this one new as of January 1st. So these are on my website as well as Amazon. So if you search Amazon, you'll come up with either of these. There is an audio version for the 7 steps. There is not an audio version for the organic book yet. It's my goal to get it done this year. It's just my life has been hectic, like I talked about earlier. So, man, you got both of them. There you go. That's sweet.
I do, and one of them signed.
Nice.
Yeah.
So cool. Thanks for having me on, dude. I love it, dude. This was so fun.
Thank you.
I know I was the last resort, right?
Get out of here.
Scrambling towards the end to get somebody on. Sure. Well, let's fill the slot with TWP with the low level guy.
How does he know? How does he know,
bro? But thanks, man. I really appreciate it. It's fun stuff.
Thank you, bro. And your input means the world to me, because I got to be honest. You've told me that you've watched the show before, and you've told me that you enjoy it, and that shit lights a fire under me, man. So thank you for that. The reason I've had the people I've had on so far is because they're the ones that I feel the most comfortable with, and people that I wanted to get out all of my bugs and all of my hiccups and speed bumps with. And that's why I've had you and the ones before, and in particular twice, so that I can honestly say after this episode things were like 95%. So thank you for bearing with me, man, and thank you for being a guinea pig, because it means the world to me.
No problem, man. And I must say, dude, I was a huge fan of your Wednesday night live show on YouTube, that back when you didn't show your face. And I was so discouraged, like when you get hit by YouTube and you had to go to a different platform. I was like, man. And you brought it back, and it's back, and I couldn't be happier. So as a fan, dude, thanks for bringing it back.
Dude, thank you, bro. It was literally that. That's what it was, bro. So thank you, man. I appreciate you. Everyone go check out Chris. I know you guys already are, man. Friend, coworker, and an incredible guy. Thank you for being here, Chris. I'll catch up with you tomorrow. We got business meetings. Thanks, bro.
Sounds good.
Peace,
Take care.
homie.
Peace out, everyone.
Cheers. Wow. Boom. Huge shout out to my guy, man. Chris is, like, I mean it. That's a friend of mine. And finding a friend in this day and age, when you get to be in my age, if you will. I know you all think I'm 21. However, I've been around the bend, and you don't make friends at this age very often. And more importantly, really good ones. And Chris and Rob are certainly those people. So thank you, Chris, for being here, and thank you for supporting me on my missions, because no matter what you take on in life, I am right behind you to help you bulldoze through anything that stands in front of you. So huge shout out to Chris, huge shout out to From the Stash, and I can't wait to see them in person. Guys, what did you think? That is Tea with P on a Wednesday night. And what an incredible conversation. Dare I say it went pretty damn good. We had a couple hiccups, but I think we did good. Mrs. P's like, what?
I'm ready for bed.
She's ready for bed. She's like, I was sick before I got here. Guys, I want to selfishly take a moment. Great show. Thank you, guys. I want to take a moment and take a sec and appreciate somebody in the community. It's a selfish moment because I want to speak to somebody who's been a long supporter of mine. And let me tell you, if nepotism doesn't get you anywhere, then you know what? Maybe I don't know. Friendship may. I've got a person here that I want to highlight for the community highlights next. So let's go to that. Community highlights. Ka-chow! I heard her click it. I heard her click it. Nothing came. It was a black screen. Can't let that happen ever again. It's okay. That's 2 strikes. Guys, I would like this and I say selfishly because this is a member of our community. This is somebody who has supported me for as long as I can remember supporting me, has been supporting me. And I just want to give a huge shout out. I'm going to dial that back because El Chapo came to mind real fast there, quick. But a member of my community that I want to highlight, and not every member of my of the community highlights are going to be members of my community, but it's definitely a great place to start. So I want to give a huge flocking introduction to Idiom Grows. Idiom Grows, right there, folks. Idiom underscore grows on Instagram. I'm gonna hit that follow button right now. Go ahead and hit that. Boom, baby. And I think you should too. Idiom is is an incredible photographer. This man's getting captures or photo. Can you take the logo off the screen too, just so Mr. Goat doesn't have to be tied to this? That's okay. No, he doesn't want to. I'm sure he doesn't mind for Idiom. But this is a guy that's taking photographs of the plant, which I think are remarkably beautiful. And they're so up close, so intimate, so personal. I strongly want to send just the most upstanding members of our community over there. So if you're hearing this, you're one of them because you made it through the entire episode, and that's really important to me. So you're going to be one of those guys. Go check out Idiom Grows over on Instagram, and just check out his way of just telling the story of a plant that I think you will be remarkably mesmerized. He's over on my Purple Velvet Room, where we check out his garden every Sunday, where we do wake and bakes. We can check out your garden too. Check out Patreon at patreon.com/pigeons420. You'll see that pop up here right away as soon as Mrs. P's got it. You can. It's not on that one. Oh, that's okay. We'll put on that one.
I got it.
There we go. Shout out to everyone here. We check out their gardens every Sunday on the Wake and Bake over in the Purple Velvet Room, and Idiom's a supporter of that. So I wanted to take a moment and support him. So shout out to Idiom. I hope you guys go hit the follow button over on Instagram. You will not be disappointed, guys. You will not be disappointed. However, that is tonight's community highlight, which brings to conclusion tonight's show. Tea with P. I want to give a huge shout out to Home Grow the Community, Mama Kush, Mr. Ganix, Sea Bunny, and Papa Kush for having me on the show earlier this evening before our show. We managed to make it work. Thank you guys for bearing with me. It means a lot that we can make it all work together. And I got to watch my boys' baseball game, so thank you guys. I will be back next week right here in the hot seat, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central, where we'll be talking about all things nudes, culture, science, health, you name it, with another on-the-scene guest live, so you can work through all the kinks with us, because I think we almost got it, guys. I think we almost got it. By golly, it feels good. However, that's it. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. This show would be nothing without you guys. I seriously want to make this show something. What you see today, I want it to be 10 times bigger than it is tomorrow. Whether it's by viewership or whether it's by production or what you see or by the way we can present our guests, I want it to be big. I want it to be over. Soon there's going to be jets. I'm not even going to lie to you. Jets. Whack! Flying over above. Yep, we'll have an elephant. I got it coming. I'm not even going to exaggerate a little bit. I'm going to give you guys everything. And that's what we're going to do here on Tea with P. It's not your average live show. This is a place where you can have an average conversation, sit and chill as a community, and give our input on what matters most. Because what matters most? You. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next week. We're live tomorrow on Twitch. Whichever you choose. Peace, guys.